Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Hannah, and today's video, as you can see from the title, we'll be testing and reviewing the new Airbrush Flawless Foundation Stay All Night and Day by Charlotte Tilbury, the one and only. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on this foundation, how I apply it and how I created this look, then please keep watching. Okay, so this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It stays all day and night. This is what the packaging looks like of the foundation. It does come in this luxurious box. I am a massive fan of the packaging. Really love it. This does retail for £34, which is on the more pricey side for a foundation. I did purchase this myself. You guys know, even though I do this as my job, I do a lot of the time purchase my own stuff. Don't get me wrong, I get PR. However, most of my skincare, most of my makeup is all bought off my own money. So there are 44 shades from what I can see. I picked up the shade 6 Neutral. I think it is a tad light, but you know what, it worked out when I did a video. I have used this before, so it's not first impressions. I can give you an idea of what my thoughts are on this foundation. So if you want to see my full thoughts, then please keep watching. So it says visibly reduces the appearance of wrinkles by up to 22% after 8 weeks of use. That's just a theory. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to read through all the details, but full coverage foundation with flawless matte long lasting finish. Apply your airbrush flawless foundation, blending outwards from the center of your face for a flawless airbrush finish. It doesn't say anything else, so we're getting full coverage with a flawless matte long lasting finish. It moisturizes, reduces the appearance of wrinkles for up to 22%, like I said, gives a flawless poreless looking finish. Lightweight and comfortable, air cool, and it has a Charlotte Tilbury defense that is designed to limit exposure of the skin to everyday pollutants. Sweat proof, humidity proof, waterproof, and transfer proof. So we've got a whole load of claims, and what I'm going to see what I feel when I put it on. I have my opinion already on this foundation. Yeah, so I'm going to shake the bottle. I'm not got anything on my face other than I've just concealed my brows and put a little bit of brow pencil on, just so that I can sort of just show you my bare skin. Absolutely nothing's on it already. I did moisturize hours ago, but it is in the afternoon now. It's early afternoon, it's just hit afternoon, so yeah. My references will be in the description. I always put them there, or I try to, but if you want a quick reference, my MAC shade is an NG25 to NC27, so there you go. So I'm just going to place a pump of this onto my hand. I'm going to put it on and then we're going to blend it in. A pump, which is quite a lot, onto my hand. I'm not going to use a lot because I know I'm going to show you if this foundation goes far. So I'm just going to dot it on to my forehead. You can see it is a little light. I don't know if it oxidizes. I can't remember if it did on my skin initially, but if it does, it doesn't matter, because then I prefer foundation sometimes it oxidizes. I like it if it oxidizes and gets darker, but I don't like it if it oxidizes and gets more orange, because sometimes foundations do that on me, even though it's completely different undertone. Okay, so I am going to blend this out with a sponge, just because the last time I used it, I think I used a brush then a sponge, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So I want to try with a sponge, just because it says to be full coverage, has a high amount of pigment. So yeah, this doesn't really have a scent. It just smells like, I don't know, not chemically at all, but just has a no scent sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly spritz my sponge just to add a little bit more zhuzh to it, and we're just going to go in and start to blend it in. Okay, so we've blended out all on the skin with a sponge. It's blended out really lovely, really quickly with a sponge. It has got a bit of coverage. However, I'm going to be honest, my skin is relatively clear right now, so I can't really give you a full idea of how much coverage it will give. If I had more breakouts, then maybe I'd be able to, but I do have a few little bits on my forehead, and it's only just covering. But I did literally go with one pump all over the face, and it is giving this sort of coverage. It blends out really nicely. So far, let me just point this out, because in a few hours it'll be a different story probably. So far, it doesn't show, or like, it hides my pores. It really blurs everything, and it looks really nice on the skin. However, I will say in the end part of the video, when I give my final thoughts, what happened the last time I used this. So obviously we didn't go with a primer. I didn't want to, just in case the primer messed up the foundation, because I know they say to advise to use the magic cream, but I'm not spending £70 odd on magic cream just to look nice for 1 or 2 days wearing the foundation. So yeah, I do have samples of the magic cream, but I want to use them when I like absolutely necessary because they're so expensive. But yeah, I'm just going to keep beating this into the skin. I put the foundation over my vein and it has covered my vein, which is a good sign. Blended in lovely. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin, it does feel lightweight, so that is a good sign. I'm going to show you up close and personal now. So this is how my skin is looking with the foundation on. I think it looks really, really nice on the skin so far from first impressions of literally initial application. Has a sort of glow to it. It's not too matte, it's not like a drying matte, more of a satin matte, which is really, really nice, I think. You'll see a little bit of my skin underneath, which sort of tells me that it's not super duper full coverage, but then we did only go in with one pump. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my face, come back, do what I need to do for a few hours, and then give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm back. I've done the rest of my face. I have done absolutely everything. I've been filming, I've been cleaning, I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. If you want to see also what my eyeshadow is, please head over to my Instagram. It should be up in the next few days. On my lips, I have the Huda Beauty Staycation Matte Lipstick with, I just topped it with any old gloss. Now, this is the second time I'm wearing it, and for some reason I think I sat down and just looked at my skin. I was like, oh, this looks really nice on the skin. Now, it does look really, really nice on the skin. I'll show you up close and personal in just a moment. I'm not gone oily, it's really stayed matte. I did top it with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Finish Powder in medium 2. I love this powder. Beautiful under eye powder, beautiful powder to set all your pores and whatnot, really blurs out the skin. So I've done those together, they work very, very well. Same with the last time that I used this foundation, I did use the powder. However, I found at the time, I'm going to be honest, I had a facial last week. I had a facial where I had extractions, my lashes playing up, you know, and it gets itchy. I had a facial where I had loads of extractions around my nose, I had all my spots taken out and all of that. So my skin is looking pretty good. So that is probably why the foundation looks pretty good, but I do say I should have taken a picture. I did wear this foundation out all day. I went out and in the heat and whatnot, it did really, really well holding up. However, it textured my skin so much. All of my blackheads or all of my oily glands, all of my little bumps, all of the little dryness around my areas were accentuated so much, which I was really disappointed with. Luckily you can't see it when you're far away, but as soon as you start getting closer, I really should have recorded it. I knew I was just so tired that evening. I was really disappointed because I thought £34 for a foundation that textured so much. Like, I mean, I've never had a foundation that's textured my skin so much. Like, don't get me wrong, my skin's not perfect, however it doesn't have major problems. So if you're a person that has texture, you might want to stay away from this. Now, the only reason why it probably won't look like it's textured now, and it could be whether it's just the way I've applied it, or it could clearly be because I did have a facial last week, or I had all of my extractions, my skin is very smooth and etc. So that sort of weighs in. I have to judge it. I can't just say, oh yeah, it's the foundation. It could very well be the foundation. However, I personally think, in my opinion, it was the facial that is making the foundation look a lot better because there's not so much texture there. But every person has texture, everyone has texture, everyone has blackheads, everyone has oily glands, but we want to make sure when we apply foundation on that, the foundation doesn't accentuate that, but this foundation 100% accentuates it. Now, I do not have smile lines. Well, currently, I will, obviously, we all do, but they're not like bad. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to see a little bit, but this foundation is the only foundation I've actually found that is giving me smile lines, even though I've not actually smiled. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a one around the mouth area that will move. It's not transfer proof because I'm pressing on my skin now and it is coming off on my fingers. I did tap on my tash area and it did come off. So the transfer proof, and it had been sitting on my skin for a while, so it wasn't like I just initially applied it and it hadn't settled on my skin. It has been over a few hours now. It is still wearing up very well. It doesn't move, it doesn't budge. It is definitely matte-ish, sort of like a satin matte, but it feels very lightweight. I do like it, however, I just think the whole texture thing is a problem, because some days where I just want to fling on a really good foundation, I don't want it to accentuate my texture. Foundations like the NARS foundation, in my personal opinion, don't do that, but this for £34 does it, which is a bit disappointing. I like the shade range, I like the whole idea, I agree it's full coverage, I want to see what it looks like more after 8 weeks of using it, if it reduces my wrinkles, even though I don't really have any. But yeah, I think it really does depend on the skin type that you have. I don't know how I'll be honest, I'm a bit stuck with how I'd recommend it for certain skin types, but I know if you have texture, dry skin, really like you've got acne or you've got bumps and whatnot, you might want to avoid this foundation just because it might really accentuate it. I haven't watched any other reviews, so I don't know what other people have said. I try not to stay away from them until I've actually done mine, and then I watch them to see how other people view the foundation. But yeah, I like it. However, it does, and I'm gonna keep rhythmically saying this, it keeps accentuating texture. So if I come and show you up close and personal, my skin is looking really well because I did have a facial last week, so all of my you can still see a few of my pores, but that's probably because the highlighter is accentuating it. However, I've got not too many blackheads around my nose area because we did focus on that area, but you can see it looks pretty nice on the skin. The creams and the powders blend in really well with it. It does look lovely on the skin. I'll show you my forehead. It looks really nice. It does look like skin. It does definitely sometimes when you look in person, it looks like I have a foundation on. So yeah, but I actually really like it. The shade 6 Neutral is actually really good for me. It did oxidize. I don't know if you guys can see it there. That's just concealer, but that there, it definitely oxidized. Bearing in mind it was lighter than my hand, and it definitely oxidized, so that's something you probably want to watch out for. But yeah, this is my skin up close and personal. That's everything on the foundation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know if you're going to be getting this foundation or if you're not going to be getting this foundation. I love all of you guys. If you have any questions, like I said, please comment in the comment section. If you're new here, I would love if you could subscribe and click the notification bell, and also follow my Instagram, which is at St. Louis. We are nearly at 100k. 100k. I remember a few months ago I was like so excited about having 10k. Now I've got nearly 100k, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much. I love all of you, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.